project stuff. All right, so I'm going to show you how to make a class and a struct. All right, this is very important. Later I'll be uploading it to the Google Docs here. All right. So firstly, I'm going to create this. I'll be added at probably at yeah, I'll add it to your folders here, and then this is going to be maybe right here. Yes, this is going to be called class demonstrations here, right? Okay. So firstly, all right, this console is just like the C++ or Python console, right? You can execute the code right away without press the build button. It gives you the answer, the result at the console, all right here. All right, something like that. Okay. Um, and you can also define variables here. All right, so since you have been doing user code in the past few years, so this console IDE should be very familiar to you. All right. And the next step is, all right, okay, so, but first, I guess I'm going to go, all right, let A to be 12, all right, and the var B equals 21. Alex, can you tell me what's the differences between let and the var declarations?
Isn't var it can change?
Good, yeah. So var is the variable, then you can modify it. So var declaration is mod. You can it is a changeable. It's a changeable. All right. It's a constant. There we go. Good. And then for the rest, okay, can be like maybe letter, can be you can use a character, char, character, and then assign a value, which is a double quote here, a right here, and the var maybe pi to be a double, and then 3.14, and then var let's say maybe str, all right, is going to be a string. Okay, this is going to be a string, and then equals hello, all right, something like that, right? Okay, there we go. And then the next one is on. So this can be a bool, and then it's either true or false, all right? So those are um the data type, primitive and a non-primitive data type, right? Okay. And then next one is going to be class, right? So we have something called a class declaration, mark. Okay, mark class declaration. All right. We're using class. So class is like a blueprint. And the class is very important is because it is OOP, all right? And OOP has OOP principles. We have first one is going to be encapsulation, and the number two is a polymorphism. Number three is abstraction, and the number four is going to be inheritance. All right. Okay. So for instance, class, let's say maybe we want to say user, right? Okay. Uh, let's say user. Okay. The user, it can be a codable and a decodable. All right. So encodable, comma, and a decodable, right? Okay. And user usually has username, right? Username, and that is going to be a string, all right? And then let maybe age is going to be integer, all right? But usually, all right, we simply just want to use a string because it can be just a bit easier for the future development, right? And then we can say let maybe um, school, right? School is going to be a string as well. But usually school has more data, right? Okay. So for instance, let me show you that. All right. This is like okay. So primitive and a non primitive data type handles easy or simple. I would just say simple. Simple content. All right. So because username, it's just username. Can be Diablo or StarCraft or F1, Formula One, America, whatever stuff, right? Okay. Age is very simple because it's just well, a number, right? School is different. School has school name, has a location, has some other sub concept here, right? But therefore, if we simply use a string, it is not good enough, right? So therefore, we have to create a class called school, and this one can also be a codable, right? Codable. And right here, then you can cast the school as a school, right? As you can see, this school is what we created, right? If I delete this code, well, this one is not working, right? But this is the reason why OOP is very important, is because you can create new variables, you can create a new type, data type or reference. Therefore, you can create maybe a name, right? And then string. So, and therefore, it can separate the name inside the user, right? Like, right, okay. So therefore, inside this package, you can also modify school's name, right? Makes sense. So other than, I mean, you can also do like a school name, right? And then keep doing that. But as you can see, it's very boring and it can be very tedious, right? Okay. So therefore, we can also have location. For location, it can be a coordinate, right? So therefore, you can definitely create something called coordinates, right? The coordinates can be codable as well. But usually, all right, the location has uh, either the address and the what? And and a coordinate, right? So therefore, we need to create a location, and then it is a codable as well. Therefore, firstly, it's going to be these ones are going to be what? These ones are going to be cool. Maybe address. Address can be just a string, right? It's like 3333 Mickelson Drive, blah blah blah, right? And then we have a coordinates, right? The coordinates must be, as you can see, now we need a double, all right? Because yes, it's a latitude and a longitude, right? And then we can simply just have the location right here, right? The location, right? Okay. So therefore, as you can see, in the future, we just hide all of these data and we use these. And right, okay. So this is the one reason why we want to use class. Okay, it's easier to manage. So the class is the backbone or the DNA of a program, because this is how do you program a program, right? It's like a DNA of a creature. How many DNA the genes, pairs of genes do we have in human beings? Do you know?
Six.
What?
I don't know.
Search online. You should know it.
Okay.
It's a biology. Just search how many pairs
Uh,
of genes does human have, all right?
okay.
We have 23, all right? We have
Oh,
23. Okay.
okay.
If anybody tells you, right, you have 24, I mean, that's insult, all right? That's an
Okay.
insult. All right, so don't be fooled by anybody else, all right? So
Okay.
human have 23 pairs of genes, all right? Okay. So that is 2023. So some disease, such as maybe 22 pairs of genes, maybe some like 2024 or something. that will cause like maybe, I don't know, like uh retardedness. I don't know. I mean something like that, right? Okay, so we have 23, all right? Okay, we have 23. There we go. And the coordinates, right? And then we can also have the location, yeah, maybe transportations in the future, right? Okay, so therefore we can create a let U1 to be a user and then assign that to be user. And we can also assign something here, right? However, it doesn't have initializer. So therefore, we need to create init, all right? So this will initialize all the data while we create it, right? So for instance, this is the user, and then we can have the username, the string. So for instance, this one is going to be maybe Mike. Mike. Name is Mike. Mike Jackson, right? Jackson. Age, the string, we just put maybe 21 here. The school, right? The school can be like maybe MIT, right? And therefore, this is going to be it. And we can also, and for the school, if you just put MIT, it doesn't work, right? Why? It is simply because school right now is a class. So therefore, we are supposed to create like maybe school, let school sh school one to be school, right? Okay, and we can initialize it, right? So therefore, logically speaking, we also need to initialize this one, and we also need to initialize this. In Java, all right, this is an initializer, all right. In Java, it is it is called constructor. All right, so it is at your APCSA concept here, right? I bet you will be taking APCSA. So therefore, whenever you see a constructor, it's actually initializers here, right? And then you can initialize the school. The school has the name, so I'll just put MIT. So show the location is actually you also need to create a locations here, right? So the location you can you can directly open it. Yes, you can actually open it. Address, yada yada, coordinates, and then this one is going to be maybe 111, 123, something like that. Very straightforward here. All right, okay. There we go. And then right here, all you need to do is just to fill out the school one. That's all good, right? Okay. As you can see, so therefore, when other people see your code, they couldn't possibly understand whatever inside this one here, right? So this simply means a little the design of your system, right? And then later on, you can print out the user one. And then you can print out everything inside it, actually. So for instance, school, and then you access the location, and then that's it. All right. And then of course the address here. And then as you can see, this is the way you print out the message of that. It's a ASDSD right here, right? Maybe. Um, right? Okay. And then you can also do this. So for instance, you can just print user number one. If you print user number one, you almost get every possible data inside these, right? Okay, so for instance, this is basically what this is a address of that one, all right? And then you can definitely access the name, right? The school and every possible details here, right? Okay, there we go. And what's more, right? Mike Jackson. And what's more, in the user, you can also create a function inside. So therefore, yes, this is called the class of method declaration. A function right here, you can call it show all, right? Or show data. So for that, because what you need to do is basically, for instance, like a print, you can print self period username and then you can definitely print all the details here, right? I'll just being lazy a little bit. And the name right here, this is age. And then this one is going to be school, right? School. All right. And therefore, you can easily use these tools to handle the work. For instance, use your one period show data. See, now you have your customized method that you can use, right? Okay. So therefore, usually we don't actually need a UI. No, we do need for regular user, for designer, architecture, um, and the software engineer. We don't want UI that much because I mean it's too slow. The console is fast, right? The console is very fast. Therefore, we can know whatever inside this system here, right? And then for these, we can also do print, self-period school, period location, and then we keep printing out other related information such as a coordinate, right? Locations, coordinate, right? Because the location has sub definitions here, right? Then this one's going to be address. So now if I compile the code, so we have more data here, right? We have more data. So this is the benefit of OOP, which is the objects-oriented programming. So that simply means, yes, you you can definitely just use the class to handle all the blueprint, and then create actual objects here, right? Okay. All right, so I think so probably the mark is all the way going here. Yeah.
Okay.
So this
Uh,
explanation, does this explanation make sense to you?
yeah. Uh, so where would you use a let instead of a variable?
The variables?
Yeah.
Um, we can definitely use a var here. It really depends on the way you design the system here. So because whenever you create this, you can actually do, yes, we have mark here. Good. So we can actually do the user one period name, and we can assign some new data here, right? But however, this is a let declaration. We cannot change it. So um, usually something we don't want to change, which is probably the user ID, right? This is a very good questions here. So for instance, like the user can do let ID. ID, most likely we want to use let because we don't want user to modify it because it's supposed to be a very unique, right? And for the username can be var. Absolutely, you're right. Yes. So var and the real name, I doubt. I mean, well, you can definitely change your real name, but uh, I mean, yeah. So yeah, age, well, we can use the var as well. And the school, we can use the var. That's very good. That's very good questions over there. Okay. So let's see that without this one here. So then we can simply just delete these and that and that. And therefore, we need to reconstruct these. There we go. All right. Okay, good. And now we're going to have this ID right here. This one's going to be a very unique ID. Can be blah, 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 right? Okay. So therefore, usually it's that. And of course, so it is even possible to break through a 6-digit password because it takes a 10 to the power of well, 2 to the power of 10 to the power of no, because it can be 26 plus 26 plus 10 plus other combinations, right? While computer CPU cannot break through that. So therefore, 6 digits is very safe. All right, hello, Mark. Can you hear me? Hello, Mark.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry.
Good.
I hear
Okay.
you.
So yes, there we go. So at the very beginning session, so I walked through with Alex the class definition. So I guess that is a good warm up. That is good warm up. And Alex finished maybe part of the homework based on Tuesday's work. So I guess yeah. Okay. Hold on for a second. All right, I'll be uploading the code as the Google Docs, and I will hand over the work to Mark. And I
So what
guess
should I be
right,
doing today?
we'll simply just keep working on last month's work. Yes,
Last time we finished up, well, I just told him about the structure, right? I don't know any.
yeah,
That's where we stopped.
yeah, the stuff. I guess maybe hold on for a second. Oh, and the flashing dot is working fine, right?
I think I just gave him the general code so he can mess around with it later. So I mean, the general appearance works. Yeah.
Okay. So today, yeah, today I want you to walk through to show Al how to make another, it's like a tap, like a gesture recognizer.
Oh, okay.
So the user can tap on the flashing dots. So it can simulate eye tracking process, right? It's like um, it's just a tap it and then earn scores. Makes sense, right? Maybe we add a score label right here. So whenever user successfully capture the moving dot, right, then add one score. It is like the cat, right? The cat is capturing the laser dot, right? Makes sense.
Yeah.
Good. Okay. All right.
Um, second. Let's get some stuff. So I guess so. Just double check where we're at really quick. Okay. So the first thing we want to do is add a tap gesture recognizer. So these are like objects that can like you can use to customize what happens when a certain like action's performed somewhere. So we'll go to our do this. So uh just recognizer. And in here should so this is basically the tap gesture recognizer. So it recognizes when the user taps the screen. So for target, we need to specify like where they tap, it'll register it. So if we say self, that means it'll register a tap anywhere on the screen. but then we could also limit it to like another view, like uh this box, or we can even just make it register when we tap on this circle here. So if we do that, let's try with self first. And so action, this will be the function that runs whenever the screen registers tap. So we'll create that like right above here. Let's do has to be Objective C font. Okay, so for now, let's just print to make sure it's working. So then here it'll be and let me just get rid of this one. So let's just run this to make sure that the screen's registering the top. So hold on. Oh wait. Oops. On top of this, we need to add the tap gesture to the view. Sorry, I forgot. It's this. Gesture recognizer. So we add the gesture recognizer tap gesture to the view. I forgot it's not self that matters, it's view that matters. So we could add it to the view, or we could add it to like one of these to another UI object. So if we do view really quick, then you see anywhere I tap on the screen, it'll register as that the user tapped the screen. So we could limit this to just like the big frame. So now if we did big frame, so now anything outside of this frame won't be registered. But it's not registering. I think it's because, let's see. Okay, maybe something's layered on top of big frame. Give me a second. Sorry. Okay, I guess. Hold on, let me try one more thing. Uh, okay, for now, let's just do view. And let's see. And so I guess since we're tracking the whole page, then what we want to do is when they tap anywhere on the screen, we want to register the coordinates of the screen they touched. And then we'll compare those coordinates to the current coordinate of this circle thing. And if it's there, then we'll add a point to their score somewhere, I guess. So in that case, we should go to here. So after they tap it, we can get the location. So and then let's see. Then let me see what this. Give me a second. This is stuff I need to double check on too. Yeah, so see how we're getting coordinates when we tap on it. And then I think, yeah, okay. So tap location is an array, so we can access its x and y coordinates separately. So then from there, it's pretty simple. We can just do if dot x is equal to this tracking. There we go. We can get the middle coordinate, I guess, with mid x. And so this would, I believe, let me check. Yeah, this should work. But the thing is, right now we're comparing exact coordinates. So you need to be exactly in the middle, which is probably really difficult. So on top of that, we need to make sure that we're not comparing just these two datas, but we need to like have a range for this. So we can, that's where like the math part comes in. So we can do like, we can check X and Y separately. Uh, oh, so in the checking for X part, we can also check do a or, and we need to do this. So instead of just exactly that, we can do if tap location.x is greater than or equal to the minimum x, and should be less than or equal to the max x of tracking. And we just do the same for the y. We don't use or, sorry, that's messed up. If this, oh. Oh. Okay, let's try this. Huh. It's not registering on my server. Oh, at least there it goes. I don't know why it's a bit like it's not 100%. Let me check again. I mean, it's working sometimes, but not. Let's see. This is the general code though. So do you get this stuff so far?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's we can give them some like extra space. So
Wait, what's like the problem?
uh
That's
the problem is I guess like the frame is changing too much for it to count, or like I don't know if it's because something's interfering with all
Oh,
this
didn't you
stuff.
say like last time that you set the one of them to the label
Oh yeah,
background?
yeah, that's just for
Yeah.
UI. That shouldn't affect what's happening here.
Okay.
My issue right now is just that it's not 100% registering my tap, even though I'm clearly tapping on the circle.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's for that part. Let's see. This is something on me, I think. Let me check something before we continue. Yeah, I'm gonna try this really quickly. I'm gonna try giving like some extra range. So, and I'm gonna like give them extra chances of tapping on it. Oh, I had it backwards. Yeah. Okay. So I don't think that matters. I'm gonna print to check issues. So it's just location. And oh wait. Oh, uh, sorry. I need to do. I'm just trying to print out this stuff to see if our coordinates are making sense.
Okay.
A second. It's not working. Oh, let's see. Oh, so hey, that's a bit weird. The oh wait. Hmm, let's try. No. Okay. This is a bit strange. Oh, that's three in a row, but it's so weird. I guess. Yeah, it is rounding it for us because these aren't exact values, so that's okay. The only other thing I can think of why this is happening is because this is it keeps moving, and maybe that's. Let me see if I extend the duration of the animation. So let's see here, the timer. Let's give it a longer interval. Let's do 1 second. Yeah, okay. I think the issue is that it was moving way too fast for us to register it properly. Let's give it even longer. Yeah, that was the issue. So because it kept moving, like while it's moving, its coordinates are also kind of updating along the way, I guess. So when you tap it while it's moving, I'm guessing that it changes too fast to count as a point. But you can see right now, as long as I'm tapping the circle, this list is increasing somewhat. So yeah, the code works. Just we need to find a way to optimize the tracking while it's also moving at like such a high speed. Let's see. Okay. Do you want to first implement this stuff? Just mess around with it a bit. A tap gesture.
Sure.
Okay. I'll just show you my screen
Okay.
because it's just like 3, 4 lines of code aside from the function.
Okay.
So these are the first two things you need. Let me know when you have these 2 lines done. Or do you want to work on it right now, or you want to? I can just ask Alex what I want, what he wants me to move on to next.
Uh, I I don't think I want to play with it right now. I
Okay,
think
yeah, I'll send you the code at the end of this. Then.
yeah,
Give me a
I can
sec.
probably do it after class.
Yeah, no. But give me a sec. I want to find out what I can do as well. So give me like a minute or
Okay.
two.
Okay.
Let's try this. That's weird. What's happening? uh, Makes sense. What if I say I let's get rid of this. The blinking is also an issue. Uh, okay, so I guess is it always 2 seconds? Oh, I wasn't even changing the right one. Give me a second.
What are you changing?
No, I was checking. I guess I was changing the wrong thing for the time interval. But I guess 2 is pretty good. But yeah, you can see this is perfectly fine. I guess the blinking was causing an issue. Which in that case, I think what we could do is put the blinking on a separate uh piece and make this like the base. Let me see how that looks. Give me a second. Let's add this to the view. Then we can go to the start timer now. Thank you. Yeah, so instead of tracking, we'll do tracking. Let's see how this looks. Okay, yeah, so it looks like that's the best way to do it. I don't know why it's oh, and we need a okay, so yeah, I think the best way to handle it was because the blinking was probably getting in like because this is changing its X and Y positions rapidly. We needed to make this one not blink so we have like a solid air like range they can click on. And on top of that, yes, yeah, that's about general gist of it. So let's see final little changes. Uh I don't so just one little thing would be to make sure it's moving. So see how this looks, and hopefully this just solves everything. Oh. um, I think we need to. Oh wait. Uh, oh, so just don't center. Oh, okay. I forgot about this. I guess we can assign center coordinates. Oh wait, I don't need this. Let's try this. Okay, yeah, there we go. Yeah, and now it's registering every time. So I guess we got that part done. And I guess the only thing left would be to keep, we'll do like a temporary score keeper. So just create a variable, call it like score, start at 0. And here, if they tap on the circle, we'll just do score. So now we have like general logic set up. I think that will, yeah. So now it's just always increasing. Do you have any questions? I know I kind of like sped through and just mumbled through some of this stuff.
Uh, yeah, I'm not quite sure. How did you fix it?
Yeah, so the fix was just because the original, like the view that we wanted to tap on is constantly blinking. It was causing issues because like as soon as they tap the screen, the frame already kind of changes. So what I did is basically just made the base just solid. So the base isn't blinking anymore. And to keep like the visual effect, I just added another view under it that does the blinking for it. And the other thing I did was I added the gesture recognizer to the view itself. So that way it only recognizes a tap when we tap on the circle. And actually, if that's how it works, I don't think we need to check for this stuff anymore. Let me check this really quick. I want to make sure I'm telling you the correct information. So if I added the gesture recognizer to the tracking thing itself, yeah, it it it'll only register a tap when we tap on this view. So that means we don't really need any checking logic here either. Let me get rid of this stuff. So this is literally all we need, just a function that'll trigger when it registers a tap. And that tap is reg at here. See how we add the gesture recognizer to tracking? So that means only tracking has like the potential to recognize a tap. And so now we just run a function when we tap it, and now everything works. Do you need a deeper explanation? Sorry, that was also pretty bad.
Yeah,
Okay.
like I get what you're saying, but
Yeah, no worries. So you get what a gesture recognizer is, right?
yeah.
And then, so do you get what I'm doing when I add it to tracking?
No.
No. Okay. So the gesture recognizer, it's basically it acts as like a system that tells the device when the user taps on something. And so whatever you add the gesture recognizer to basically like assigns the range where the tap will be recognized. So in this case, where we add it to tracking, which is this dot here, the range of like the tap recognition is within tracking's frame. So that means uh, it'll only run like the function here if we tap on this dot here, the frame of tracking. more or a little better?
Uh, yeah.
Because remember earlier we had view. So if we did view, that means this code will be run anywhere. Like we're adding the recognizer to the entire view. So that means the entire view will recognize that you tapped on it. So anywhere I tap, see now it's increasing to 9 or increasing the score. It just means the whole view counts as like the range that it'll register as a tap. I can like change it to other things as well. So if I did like big frame, I believe this works. Big frame is a bit weird because I think there's stuff on top of it, so it's not 100%. But view kind of gives you the general idea that if you just apply it to the view itself, that means you're applying it to like the entire screen. And that's kind of problematic because one, it makes us have to handle like additional logic, like what we did originally with comparing the coordinates of where you tapped with the current coordinates of the sender. So that's why we just add the gesture recognizer to tracking, which basically makes it so as soon as we tap the tracking object, it already recognized that you're already on target. So that's kind of the first thing I changed. And so the second part was because the frame is constantly changing, we need to give it like a constant, like a solid or definite range that they can tap on. So I just made the center not really move. And then that extra one is just to keep the visual appearance of the blinky. So if you wanted to, we could change this just one. It should look almost the same. So now it just won't recognize this outside tab. It'll only recognize the inside part. But that's kind of the general gist of it. Do you still need more? No worries, sorry. Or is that part of okay? Is it just this part that you don't get, or is there any other part?
Yeah.
Other parts? You get the function, right? Like this is just a code that runs whenever the tap gesture is recognized, where it's registered. Yeah, okay.
For the score.
And yeah, the only other thing was I just updated the UI a bit for the blinky. I just added like a quote unquote shadow. That's all I did, I think. Put this in here. Let's see. All right. If that's all, let's see what is Alex. The other Alex. Alex. I don't know if he's here. Oh, yeah.
Hey, Mark,
Okay.
what's
Yeah,
that?
so we finished the tracking.
Okay, tracking.
So now it adds a score whenever you tap on it.
Yeah, that makes sense. And I also want, whenever user successfully capture it, I want the dot to be green or a different color. And
Oh,
that means it's a goal, right? I mean, it's like a soccer game. And
okay.
then turn the color back to this bluish color. So therefore,
Okay.
it's
Well,
a better UI, right? But I guess maybe now we can firstly add maybe a score module, I guess, and then
oh,
later
so
on
like somewhere on the page.
somewhere on the page, yes, I guess probably the score usually all right is maybe right here. I guess it's a pretty or we can. We can
I
just,
thought that would be part of the calibration process.
I think so. We can definitely do that. The
So,
calibration, yes, makes sense. Makes sense. And use the user default to, yes.
oh, I thought this is like a one-time thing. Like it's a test, right? So
Yeah. So yeah, currently we can use a one-time stuff. Eventually, we want to uh, accumulate users' behaviors every day or every month. Then we can make a chart, analyze users' behaviors. But for that, I
yeah,
mean, right now it's fine. Yeah, good.
we can do this. Progress bar dot progress plus equals 0.1. So that'll increment by 10% every time we successfully tap on it. Like that. And I guess with that, we can also we'll just update the text with it. So start at 0%. So whoa. Okay. What? Give me a second. There we go. Yeah. So now we have something to keep track of, I guess. And he said he wanted the color to change to give you like an indication that you tapped on it. Do you know about dispatch queue?
Uh, no.
No, okay, no worries. So dispatch queue is basically how we can like get code to run after a certain time. It's like it's a delay for the code. So we can basically do this. First, we'll change tracking when they tap it. Uh, we'll make it like red for now. Second, I want to get this code. Okay, and then so we can run this code. Bit of a long keyword, but this async after. And I'm just typing it and I'll explain it. So we always start with this code, dispatch queue.main.async after, and then in here, you do dispatch time.now, and then you add however many seconds after you want the code in here to run. So we can do like 3 seconds. And then we always delete this part. That's what I do. Delete execute the comma. And so this is basically what we need. And then in here, we'll just change the color back to its original. So I'll show you what that's like really quick. Yeah, so everything in here needs to be self as well. It's like the animation thing where everything needs to be self. So we could also just copy in self in to prevent having to do this. So if I right here. So if I tap it, if you count to 3, then it'll change back. So this part's pretty simple, I think. There's no like really complex thing. It's just like the syntax you need to know. You got this part? What a dispatch queue is? Or do you need a little more explanation?
No, I think I get it.
Yeah, okay, cool. And then did you get what I did with the progress bar thing? That part is just changing up some of the stuff. Remember we could
what
custom
part?
the progress bar?
Uh, isn't that just with like how many times you click and then
Yeah. So basically, you can just change. I think in the original, I had the example set to like 0.6. You can just customize the progress. So zero point 0.6 in decimal is 60%, right? So we just start at 0. And then I just had it so I'm always updating UI. So I think this part's basically done. Alex, is there anything else?
All right, good job.
Uh,
So we have red, and then we have that, and then we have that, and that. Looks pretty good, I guess. Alex, do you have any questions in terms of these?
no.
Okay, so far so good, right?
Yeah.
Dark gray. Right now, I guess it's just a little modifications of that, right?
Just to me,
Reset.
I just want to have fun with it.
Uh,
Yeah,
Well,
good.
I mean, there's nothing else.
what does it do when it's like the progress bar is full?
Yeah, I was just about to check that actually.
Okay.
Let's see. Yeah, so once it reaches 100, it won't increase anymore. But what we would do is probably stop it from moving because the test is basically over. So we had that function pause timer. We could just call that when it reaches 10.
Yeah, that makes sense. And also maybe reset. Probably we can reset the
Oh yeah,
progress
we
bar.
have a button that resets everything. Or oh no, we have a restart button here. So
Will it
oh,
work?
I forgot. We have a pause and a restart button, so we can implement code there.
Good.
So
That's good.
first here would be when at here when oh, not when if pause the timer. But we also need okay, so for the restart button, let's create a in here we'll just do so when we pause or press restart, we will set progress bar equals 0. And also we'll reset the label to 0% as well. So 0%. And then I guess what we want is a start button. Or I guess no, restart makes sense. So then we'll start. So hold on, sorry. We'll pause the timer